Europe in winter is a continent of contrasts, a mosaic of scenes shaped by weather. In the Scottish Highlands, winter is wild and ancient. Snow blankets the moors, the wind howls, and silence reigns. The cold bites, reminding you of nature's raw power. Now picture southern Spain. Even in January, the sun brings gentle warmth. Palm trees sway, people linger at outdoor cafes, and snow is only a distant sight on mountain peaks. Here, winter is a mild pause, fields are green, and citrus groves are heavy with fruit. Move to Central Europe, Prague or Vienna, where crisp air and a dusting of snow transform cities into fairy tales. Life shifts indoors into cozy coffee houses as rivers edge with ice. This is a winter of sharp frosts and tradition, from Christmas markets to the anticipation of spring. Farther north in Lapland, winter is a way of life. The sun barely rises, the landscape is frozen, and silence is broken only by crunching snow or the wind. The northern lights dance across the sky, painting the darkness with color. Here, winter is extreme and magical, both alien and beautiful. Across Europe, winter is never just one thing. It's a season of deep freezes and gentle pauses, of wild storms and quiet beauty. From the Mediterranean to the Arctic Circle, the variety is astonishing. How can one season hold so much difference? This is the story of Europe's winter, a continent shaped by weather, tradition, and change. And as the climate shifts, these contrasts are only growing sharper. To glimpse Europe's future winters, we must understand two powerful forces: La Niña and global warming. La Niña, a cool phase in the Pacific, nudges weather patterns worldwide, even in Europe. It often strengthens the jet stream, blocking milder Atlantic air from northern Europe, bringing colder, drier winters to Scandinavia and the UK. Meanwhile, southern Europe may see wetter, stormier weather, a continental seesaw set in motion by distant oceans. But there's a second, relentless force: climate change. Our planet is warming, shifting the baseline for all seasons. Winters are, on average, milder. Cold snaps are shorter and less severe than decades ago. The rules are changing. What was once a cold winter is now considered average. La Niña and global warming don't act alone. They interact, sometimes amplifying or canceling each other. A strong La Niña might bring cold, but background warming can blunt its impact. Or the combination could create new extremes. Warmer air holds more moisture, so a cold snap could bring heavier snow than before. The old patterns are being rewritten. Europe's winters are now shaped by this tug-of-war between natural cycles and human-driven change. The result? More unpredictability, sharper contrasts, and a future where the past is no longer a reliable guide. Understanding these forces is key to preparing for what's ahead. The interplay of La Niña and global warming will define the winters to come. The question is not just how cold or warm it will be, but how different. Europe's winter story is entering a new chapter. The climate's dice are loaded, and the stakes are rising. The future of winter is being written now. Another key player in Europe's winter is the stratospheric polar vortex, a swirling mass of cold air above the North Pole. When strong, it locks Arctic cold in place, keeping Europe milder. But when the vortex weakens or wobbles, the cage opens. Frigid air spills south, unleashing cold snaps and heavy snow, sometimes called the beast from the east. The jet stream meanders, bringing Siberian or Arctic air deep into Europe. Even mild regions can be plunged into deep freeze. Scientists are now asking, how will climate change affect the polar vortex? Some research suggests rapid Arctic warming is making the vortex more unstable. A weaker vortex could mean more frequent or intense cold snaps, even as average winters get milder. The paradox: a warming world may bring more wild swings between mild and extreme cold. The top may wobble more often in the years ahead. Europe's winter fate is tied to this invisible force above the pole. The next cold snap could be just a wobble away. The story of winter is written in the winds above. Looking ahead to winter 2025-2026, forecasts point to a strong La Niña. This could mean a return to classic winter patterns, at least in some regions. Northern Europe may see colder, drier conditions, with more clear nights and a higher chance of snow. Ski resorts in the Alps and Scandinavia could benefit, though drier air might limit snow in some areas. Southern Europe, meanwhile, could face wetter, stormier weather, with increased flood risks and higher snowlines in the mountains. The pendulum swings, sharp contrast between north and south, cold and wet, snow and rain, but background warming remains. Cold snaps may be shorter, thaws more rapid. Meteorological whiplash is becoming the new normal. The winter of 2025-2026 could be volatile and unpredictable. Europe's weather will be a tale of two winters, shaped by both distant oceans and a warming world. The only certainty is change. Adaptation will be essential. The pendulum never stops. As La Niña fades, winters 2027-2028 will be shaped by a mix of factors. No single pattern dominates. ENSO may go neutral or shift to El Niño, making Europe's weather more chaotic and less predictable. Patterns may lock in for weeks. A high-pressure block could bring cold and gloom to the north, storms to the south, or a strong polar vortex could keep things mild and wet, with little snow outside the highest peaks. These winters will test Europe's energy systems. Cold spells could spike demand, while mild winters could hurt the ski industry. The economic impacts will be significant, linking climate and prosperity. Even in cold winters, warming means more heavy, wet snow, damaging to trees, power lines, and travel. The nature of winter hazards is changing. The challenge is not just temperature but the type and intensity of weather. The mid-decade winters will be defined by disruption and adaptation. Europe must be ready for anything. The only constant is uncertainty. By winter 2029-2030, Europe's normal winter will have shifted again. On average, winters will be warmer and wetter, with fewer frost days and less snow at low altitudes. Snow may become rare outside the mountains. Cities like London or Paris could see winters more like late autumn. The loss of snow changes culture, ecology, and even childhood memories. But milder winters don't mean fewer storms. A warmer atmosphere brings more moisture, fueling extreme rain or, if cold enough, massive snowfalls. The new norm is paradoxical. Long stretches of mild, rainy weather, punctuated by sudden, record-breaking storms. Agriculture and water management must adapt to false springs and shrinking snowpacks. The winter of 2030 will be a milestone, a snapshot of rapid change. Are we prepared for what comes next? The story of winter is being rewritten before our eyes. The choices we make now will shape the seasons to come. The future is not set, it's up to us. Europe's winters ahead will be defined by extremes, floods, freezes, and false springs. Milder air brings heavier rain, raising flood risks when storms hit saturated or frozen ground. At the same time, a more unstable polar vortex could unleash sudden severe cold snaps. The beast from the east may visit more often. These events can paralyze countries, strain energy grids, and disrupt daily life. The shock is greatest when deep freezes follow mild spells, catching people and infrastructure off guard. False springs are another threat. Unseasonable warmth tricks plants into budding early, only for frost to destroy crops and harvests. These extremes are becoming more common as winters grow more erratic. Compound events like rain on snow can trigger catastrophic floods as rapid melting sends torrents into rivers. The combination of extremes is more destructive than any single event. Understanding and preparing for these compound risks is one of our greatest challenges. The future of winter is not just about averages, but about surviving the sharp edges of a changing climate. Europe must adapt to a new rhythm of unpredictability. The stakes are high for communities, economies, and nature. The time to prepare is now. Extremes are the new normal. Adapting to volatile winters is essential. Europe can't just hope for the best. Individuals need to be prepared. Emergency kits, awareness of local risks, and personal resilience are key. But the bigger challenge is upgrading infrastructure built for a gentler climate. Cities, transport, and energy systems must be reinforced for floods, snow, and power outages. Investment and long-term planning are crucial. Build for the climate ahead, not the one behind. Agriculture must adapt with resilient crops and better frost protection. Water management will be vital, storing winter water for dry summers. Nature-based solutions like restoring wetlands can help absorb floods and build resilience. Community networks matter most in a crisis. Neighbors helping neighbors, local hubs providing shelter. Strengthening these bonds is as important as any engineering fix. The first step is awareness. The next is action. Every community can prepare for the winters to come. Adaptation is not defeat, it's survival. The front line is everywhere. The winters of 2025-2030 are just the beginning of a longer transformation. The question isn't simply more or less snow. It's how winter itself is changing. Some places will see less snow overall but more intense, disruptive storms. The science is clear. Human choices are driving these changes. The more we warm the planet, the more chaotic and extreme our winters will become. This is not just a scientific issue, it's about our economies, health, and cultural identity. The loss of predictable seasons is a profound shift. We must be vigilant, prepared, and innovative. Appreciate the beauty of winter, but respect its new volatility. The coming winters are a test of our resilience and adaptability. How we respond will shape the future. The story of winter is still being written. What kind of future will we choose?